I'm telling you, man, contractors, it's a really tough business. Hey, this is Matt Pichet, the Fruitful Investor and your investing coach. And today's video is about how contractors will bankrupt your real estate investing business. I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how to not get screwed around. Now, contractors are easily your #1 most hated enemy in the real estate business, but they're also one of your greatest assets. It is the hardest thing, I'm telling you, the hardest thing to find a good, solid contractor who's responsible, professional, and is gonna get the job done on time, and most importantly, on budget. I can't stress this enough. I'm gonna say it again. Contractors will screw your business more than anybody, more than realtors, mortgage brokers, lawyers, anything you can think of, insurance brokers. No, it's contractors. They're the ones who are gonna take you for a ride and take your money and make real estate not so profitable. One of the most things that pisses me off the most about real estate is how I see contractors making more money than the investors themselves on doing flips, or maybe they're doing a rental property, or they're doing a major renovation like I do, and refinancing, or maybe not even refinancing, but just doing big renovations. I see it all the time where contractors actually end up making more money than the entrepreneur real estate investors such as yourself, which is horseshit. We're the ones taking on a huge risk. We're taking on this big project. We have a lot of money on the line, and these contractors are superb con artists. Again, not all of them, man, but I'm telling you, most of them, especially carpentry. This trade specifically, it's not as bad to find a crappy contractor like an electrician, a plumber, an HVAC guy. Why? Because I think these trades are regulated. In order to be an electrician, a plumber, an HVAC installer, a bricklayer, what else? Some roofing styles contractors. These are regulated, and in order to be one, you have to actually go to school to get a certificate, to get a trade red seal certificate. So the caliber of these trades is much better. Carpentry, on the other hand, is the only trade, the only major trade in the trades that doesn't require schooling or a certificate. So, you know, as shitty as it is, this is where you get a lot of the crappy people, you know, the contractors just start their business, you know, the next day. They're not even contracted, they have no idea what they're doing. This trade is full of con artists and people who are gonna screw you. But again, they're also the most important part of your business, right? These guys doing floors, baseboards, drywall, kitchen installations. You know, these are super important to your business, especially residential real estate. But a lot of the crappy people lie in this trade. So how are they gonna screw you? How are contractors exactly gonna bankrupt your business? Well, here's #1, the most obvious one that happens all the time. Job hopping, right? Your contractors are busy. Maybe they are, maybe they're actually not, but they're always job hopping. This is the #1 thing that pisses me off the most with my jobs. I give my guys a ton of work. I pretty much keep them busy full time between my renovations, my projects, and my clients' projects. If you guys are one of my clients, you know that you get my tested and proven contractors, right? So if you partner with me, or if you buy a property through me as your realtor, and you want to use my contractors, I have the connections, and I already have proven guys who aren't gonna fuck you around like this. But the #1 thing and how they're gonna do it is job hopping. One job to another. They're at your job for 2 days. Then they're at another job for 1 day. They come back for 1 day. They're at another job for 3 days. They come back to yours for 2 days. They come back. This is the thing that blows my mind. And when I was a contractor and a carpenter, remember, I am a carpenter by trade. When I used to have my business renovating properties strictly for investors, this is one thing I never ever did. Why? It pissed off my clients so much, and it also annoyed me. I hated going from one place to another to another to another, and just, it pissed everybody off. Like, this business is based on referrals, right? Most businesses are. And how are you gonna get referrals if you're pissing off your clients because you're here 1 day, gone the next, you're here for 2 days, you're gone for 3 days? It's gonna piss off the seller or the homeowner or the investor you're working for. It doesn't make any sense. Stay at one job, finish it right to the end. You're gonna blow that customer's mind. Wow, my contractor was here solid for 2 weeks. He finished my whole basement renovation in 2 weeks. I'm gonna tell my cousin Jerry about it. I'm gonna tell my friend Joey at work. Like, you're gonna get full of work as a contractor if you do this. I don't understand this job hopping bullshit, but that's how one way they're gonna screw you. #2, overbilling, right? They're gonna charge you way more than the actual work is worth. This is another way they're gonna actually screw you, especially an uneducated investor or typically an uneducated homeowner who has no idea what things should cost, what drywalling a basement should cost, what laying laminate floor in a kitchen should cost, or whatever. This is how they're gonna screw you, overbilling. So as an investor, you have to be educated and educate yourself on what things cost. Remember, you're a business owner now. You're a real estate investing professional. You need to know what these things cost. You need to do some research, some homework, maybe partner with an expert investor, which is something I always talk about, because these are the things that I teach my partners in my real estate investing apprenticeship program. I teach them everything about the whole business. I take them through my renovations. I show them why we're doing it this way, why we're not doing it that way, how long this is gonna take and that's gonna take, so they become educated. So for the next property they buy on their own or whatever, now they're at a much higher level of education and less likely to get screwed, okay? So overbilling is one. The third way, and the most common way, and his marker's dying out. Oh. Crappy work. So crappy workmanship is easily, again, another way they're gonna screw you if you hire these fly-by-nighter contractors who have no skill, okay? These guys are gonna ruin the job and you have to pay someone to come back and redo it again. So you don't wanna be hiring cheap guys, which I'm gonna get to in a second, because if you hire cheap guys, they're gonna screw up the job and you're gonna have to do it again with another skilled contractor. He's gonna charge you even more because it's more of a pain in the ass to fix someone else's garbage. So you're gonna end up paying more than you actually would if you just hired a real good contractor to begin with, okay? So again, this is all part of educating yourself as a real estate investor. These are the three most common ways contractors are gonna bankrupt your real estate business and probably end up making more money than you will, which boils my blood. I hate seeing that shit, okay? So how are three ways we can avoid, getting into these three traps? Number one, hire by the hour. This is something that I've done for a long time and that seems to work the best for me, rather than having my contractors price on a job, because this is where they can overbill much easier, because they're gonna go, yeah, I'll do this whole basement for $15,000. And you're kind of going, well, I don't know, that sounds about right. But they actually made $12,000 in labor in 3 weeks and $3,000 were materials or whatever. So that's way too much money. They made way too much money on that particular example. And that happens all the time when they bill by the job. In my experience, paying hourly is the best, because you can come back, especially as an educated real estate investor, you can come back and say, hey man, you billed me 8 hours to lay this floor in this little basement. This should have taken 3 hours. So it's easier to keep track and keep your contractors on a whip or whatever. So how much did you pay? By the hour. Well, here's the thing. I used to pay my contractors $25 an hour. This worked for quite a while, but I kept getting a lot of shitty guys and I had to pay more attention to them and visit the job more, and I couldn't, run my real estate business on the side or in the background as much, because I would always have to go every day or every 2 days just to make sure I wasn't getting screwed by these guys. And I found I was getting screwed around way too much with these low dollar an hour guys. So now I pay my guys around $35 to $40 an hour. Why? That sounds like a lot of money, and it is. That's a really good rate for a carpenter. That's top rates for carpenters, especially for rental property renovations. That's a really good rate. But I find it cheaper in the end, because when I hire these $25 an hour guys, these are the guys who would fuck me around. I would come back, the job is done so wrong, and me being a carpenter by trade, I know exactly how long things should take and what they should look like. So when I came back and I see crappy mudding jobs on the walls, or I had to fire them and pay my $40 an hour guy to come in and fix it, and it just costed more in the end. So it's much easier to hire a good quality guy right at the beginning, $40, $35 an hour, and let him take care of the whole job, because they're gonna do a better job and someone you can trust. I don't have to go to the job anymore. I have such a good crew now. I have about 3 crews on the go between myself and my clients, and I don't have to worry about them. They know the system already. They know my paint colors. They know my flooring colors. They know everything. I let them go on the job. I only have to visit 2 or 3 times in a whole house renovation span. It's fantastic. So that's the best way. So hire them by the hour. That seems to be the best. Number 2, make them fill out timesheets. So every single week I get timesheets or invoices from my carpenters, my contractors, and they say, you know, I was there 40 hours a week, I did this and this and this in those 40 hours, cool. I go on Friday before I pay them, I look around the house, I say, yeah, this looks like 40 hours worth of work or 65 or 80 hours worth of work of 2 guys. Cool, this looks great. Here's your check. You know, that's how simple it is. And if there is an issue, it's so much easier to catch them right at the beginning and say, hey man, this was not 40 hours worth of work. This looks like 15 hours worth of work. Something's going up here. I don't think I'm gonna pay you this week. We're gonna have to figure this out. So it's much easier to keep track. Number 3, visit the job often, as I said. Especially at the beginning when you first hire a carpenter or contractor, visit often. Go every 1, 2, 3 days at most. Every 3 days, check in, things look cool, all right. And then on Friday when you get that invoice, go to the property, make sure it was worth whatever hours they said they worked, and that's the best way to do it. Bonus number 4, the best way to alleviate all this bullshit, because I'm telling you, man, contractors, it's a really tough business. As an expert in real estate investing, and I have all my crews, I still get screwed once in a while by bad contractors. If you see my videos lately, I've been dealing with a couple of properties where they're just going too slow and I have to actually step in and do some of the work myself. That's the business. That's just the way it is. So even as an expert and a professional real estate investor, you're still gonna get screwed around sometimes. It's just the way it is. But to make it minimal as possible, the best way to do it is to partner with a real estate investing expert, such as myself. If you're looking to invest in the Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge area, partner with me in my real estate investing apprenticeship program. This is where you can come on with me, we buy a property together, and I do all of the work while being your real estate coach. I bring you through the property as many times as you want. I show you exactly why we're doing it this way, why we're not doing it that way. I show you how I market for tenants, why I do it this specific way, everything, man. I'm your real estate coach, and I'm also your partner, and the best thing is I don't get paid a single penny until the very, very end when we sell the property, and only if there's a profit after I return your initial investment back. So how about that, okay? Banks, stock markets, and other businesses don't run that way. You're never gonna find that type of partnership, but that's what I offer my partners in my program. So that's the video. I hope you learned something. If you did, please click like right below. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to get more of these awesome videos. And if you want to find out more about my investing apprenticeship program, you can click right about here. And to watch more video tips, you can watch those right about here. See you in the next video.